Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com here, weekly market recap. Thank you very much for joining. We will go over SPY, Q, Dow Jones, IWM, cryptos, selected ETFs, Apple, and many more. So let's dig in the charts. SPY on the weekly, holding above this yellow trend line. As you can see, look left. 1 year of an uptrend. Now 3 consecutive dojis on the weekly, which means market is waiting for something, indecision in the market. And you know, once the market cannot decide, we surely cannot decide. We need to see a clear decision from the SPY, bulls or bears. Bulls, weekly close above the 440. Bears, weekly close below this yellow trend line. And then all we need to do, follow price, whether to the upside, use levels and trend lines, or to the downside, use levels and trend lines as our guide for future price action. QQQ, you know this downtrend channel on the weekly. Once again, trend lines, resistance and support. Doji of a trend line, we might go back retesting this yellow trend line to the downside. For now, if you zoom out, we are lower highs, lower lows on the Qs until proven otherwise. Dow Jones, another great example of why I always say trend lines are the true support and resistance for price action. This orange trend line from resistance, support, but it's resistance for the lower highs, support for the lower lows, which means we are in a downtrend also on the Dow Jones since January of 2022, lower highs, lower lows. For now, breaking below this red-orange trend line, we can take Fibonacci. Below the 330, which is the 618 Fibonacci retracement, we will see 324 and 315. If you want to go long at the Dow Jones, in my opinion, and this is what I would do, and of course it's only my opinion, everything you see in here on this channel and on my videos is for educational purposes only. I want to see a weekly close above the 341. Look left, this area since April of 2022, very tough resistance. We had few months, 3-4 months breaking up and above. Now in the past 3 weeks, back below the 340, 341. So I want to see a weekly close above it. IWM on its journey to the downside, 170, very important area of support. Breaking down and under, no need to guess. Look left, use Fibonacci levels. If we look left, every time 170 broke to the downside, over here, where IWM went to the 162. So another weekly close below the 170, and with high probability we will see 162, 163 to the downside. Bitcoin, another week, another sideways move, nothing much on Bitcoin. This is why we need to look on a higher time frame, zoom out, and what do we see? We have this yellow trend line that signals a lower highs since April of 2021, except here few weeks to the upside, but since then also each and every time on the weekly price of Bitcoin tried, got rejected, and we have this yellow trend line that helps us to identify the higher lows since November of 2022. So what do we have? Consolidation, price range is getting tighter and tighter. Brace yourself because a massive move is incoming in the maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe less. Massive move incoming on the Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin will have a massive move, the rest of the crypto land, brace yourself. Breaking below this yellow trend line, and we are heading straight to the 21, below it 18, and then 17 and 15. We can take Fibonacci, and there you have it. All we need to do now is follow price, use levels to the downside or to the upside as the next support or resistance for future price action. Ethereum, not surprising, same thing. This trend line goes way back to October of 2021. Since then, each and every time, price of Ethereum tried, got rejected. We have this trend line to the downside over here, the lower trend line holding the higher lows since June of 2022. Price of Ethereum, same scenario as the Bitcoin, tight price range, embrace yourself. Massive move incoming in the next 2-3 weeks. To the downside, below this yellow trend line, we can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, you know it. And here you have it, now holding the 50% retracement. Below this area, we are heading towards the 1433, 13, and then 1111. A weekly close, maybe 2 weeks above this yellow trend line. And you have all the levels for future price action resistance. If you want to know more on how to use, first, how to read candles, aka pure price action, al multi-time frame, trend lines, Fibonacci, and ATR. Check the links in the description below. We have Fibonacci-Traders Academy playlist, 25 videos on how to become a better trader on each and every day, free playlist. So before you take any other paid service, check this free Academy playlist. If you want to become a professional trader, a professional risk manager, take your financial freedom in your own hands, stop following others to tell you what to do, what to buy, where to sell, including myself. We have numerous paths that you can choose from. We have the one-on-one live mentorship program. We have the same program pre-recorded. Both programs will gain you, I guarantee, lifetime access for support, guidance, and all Discord channels. Both programs available in English and in Hebrew. Check the links in the description below. KRE continuing to the downside, same as IWM, nothing much. I'm expecting to see once again the 38 and even the 36 before the next leg up, if we will get a next leg up. For now, nothing much. On KRE, we had an uptrend, retracement, 618 Fibonacci, nothing much. If you are looking to go long on KRE, so first you need to watch the IWM, and I would wait for a week or two above the 43, 44 area, above this area over here. Crude oil, perfect example of why looking left, trying to identify where price came from, support, resistance, previous support and resistance will become future support and resistance. This red zone from a massive resistance area broke to the upside, now getting retested as support, not surprising. With an inside candle, I want to see continuation above the 92 area, and then we can take Fibonacci on the weekly, swing low, swing high, above 88, we are heading towards the 95, above 95, 104 and 120. Natural gas, trend lines are the true support, resistance, and the roadmap for future price action. Doji off a trend line, we will see some kind of a pullback, retracement, retesting this red zone, same as the crude oil. This red zone was a very tough resistance since January of 2023, broke to the upside the week before last week. Now this red zone needs to get retested as support before the next leg up. SOXX, we had an orange uptrend channel, broke to the downside, and now this channel from support becomes resistance. Look at this doji, the high of last week was exactly, almost exactly, this is technical analysis, not rocket science, but it was almost perfect on this crossroads between two trend lines. This trend line that was support for the higher lows broke to the downside, resistance. Now this green trend line, this green channel shows us the way until proven otherwise. SOXX going down. Apple, Same thing, trend line, downtrend channel, lower highs, lower lows, doji on the weekly off a trend line. Once again, it doesn't need to be an exact price. It gives us an area, some kind of retracement, pullback towards the 173, and then we will see this trend line once again. This trend line to the downside, we can take it in Fibonacci, 173, below it 166, 167, below it 159, together with this green trend line. Nvidia, red zone, very tough resistance since July. Tough resistance, 440, very important area of support. This trend line, yellow trend line, look left. Resistance, support, support, broke to the downside, broke to the upside, support, support, support. Breaking below this area, the 440 with this yellow trend line, no need to guess. We will see 323 to the downside. Below it, we will see the same price action that we got, a bullish price action over here. We will see the same price action, but as a bearish price action to the downside. But we are not here to predict the future. We are here to play with probabilities, where price with the highest probability might be going next. And if bulls will give up on this red zone, and how do we know they give up? They gave up. We will see a weekly close below this yellow trend line. Amazon playing between the 124 and the 134, 3 consecutive dojis, indecision on Amazon, short below the 125 towards the 118, 113. If you want to go long on Amazon, I would wait to see a weekly close above the 133. Meta, as we can see, 330, very tough resistance. It was a very important area of support and resistance over here. Once again, resistance, doji, pullback on Meta is incoming. 298 needs to hold. Below it, where Meta will head next. Fibonacci tells us 275. Google, trend lines is everything. They are our GPS for future price action. Google is inside this uptrend channel, but once again, doji of a trend line. What happened? Doji over here got rejected, pullback. Doji over here, pullback. Now we have another doji over here. What might, with the highest probability, where Google might be heading next? No need to guess. To the downside, towards this green trend line over here. You also can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, and here you have it. Below 135, we will see 130, and then 127, together with this green trend line. Microsoft, yellow trend line helps us to identify lower highs. 311, very important area of support. Below 311, where price might be heading next? 292. AMD. You know these trend lines. You know these red trend lines. You know this white trend line. And we have said in the past few weeks, I'm waiting for a weekly close above the 108 to go long on AMD. Last week, it did not close above the 108. This week, tried, got rejected by this white trend line. Doji, we might see pullback to the 101. Below 101, we will see once again retesting this trend line to the downside. Tesla, 3% to the downside on Friday. And look at Tesla. This trend line goes way back to the peak of November 2021, and since then, each and every time bulls of Tesla tried, got rejected. Once again this week, all this area the past month or so got rejected. Doji, we have a double multi-top scenario of the 280 area, where price of Tesla might be heading next. Don't forget, Tesla earnings coming up next week. So be careful playing with Tesla. 231 is the next support. Below it, 213. Below 213, the same bullish price action we saw over here. With high probability below 213, we will see the same price action, but as a bullish sentiment back to the 176. Shopify closed below the 52 in the past few weeks or so. Bulls of Shopify managed to close above the 52. This week, bulls gave up. Price closed below the 52 area. Next support, 48.30. Netflix continuing its way to the downside, but look left. Where Netflix came from? From March of 2023 to the peak of July, 71%. Now, since the peak of July, gave back 27%. We can take Fibonacci, swing high, swing low. We can take it also all the way to here. Below 357, 307 on Netflix is next. So hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like, subscribe, share with friends, will be much appreciated. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. More videos coming up this week, this weekend. Until the next video, stay safe.